Have you ever felt a profound connection with someone seemingly different from you, a bond that transcends the barriers of history, culture, or even language? Imagine the vast, unforgiving landscapes of the American West, a place where the echoes of conflict and hardship still reverberate through the canyons and across the plains. Picture a solitary figure, a man weathered by the sun and etched with the indelible marks of a life lived in the shadow of regret. This is the world of Samuel "Sam" Holloway, a man haunted by the ghosts of his past. He is a former soldier who once fought against the Apache people, a man now isolated on his remote ranch, seeking solace in the quiet solitude of the land. Then, into this carefully constructed solitude, a young Apache boy named Taza stumbles, lost and alone, a testament to the enduring resilience of a people ravaged by conflict. Taza's arrival shatters the fragile peace of Sam's existence, forcing him to confront the painful truths he has long tried to bury. The boy, separated from his tribe after a devastating raid, embodies the innocence lost, the future stolen. Sam, a man of few words and fewer smiles, finds himself unexpectedly drawn to this vulnerable child, a spark of humanity rekindled in the desolate expanse of his heart. This is not just a story of the American West. It is a story of promises made and kept, of the enduring power of human connection, and the arduous journey toward healing. It delves into the complexities of history, the weight of personal responsibility, and the transformative potential of unlikely friendships. It's a narrative that explores the deep scars left by conflict and the possibility of redemption found in unexpected places. The path they must traverse is fraught with peril. They will face the harsh realities of a landscape still simmering with tension and prejudice, where the echoes of past conflicts threaten to erupt at any moment. They will confront the prejudices of a society that still struggles to understand or accept the Apache people. They will navigate the treacherous currents of a past that neither can escape, a past that threatens to consume them both. This story is not simply about a rancher and a boy. It is about the universal search for belonging, for forgiveness, and for the courage to confront the demons that haunt us all. It is about the capacity for empathy to bloom in the most unlikely of circumstances, and the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome adversity. It is a journey into the heart of the American West, a place where the past and present collide, and where the only way forward is together. Building on the initial premise, let's now delve into the historical backdrop, a crucial element that casts a long shadow over Sam and Taza's journey. The American West, during the period this tale likely unfolds, was a crucible of conflict, where the collision of cultures and the relentless push for expansion created a landscape of immense suffering. The Apache Wars, a series of armed struggles between the United States Army and various Apache tribes, were particularly brutal and protracted. These conflicts, fueled by land disputes, broken treaties, and the relentless pursuit of resources, left deep wounds on both sides. Furthermore, it's vital to understand the complex motivations that drove individuals like Sam to participate in these wars. For many soldiers, it wasn't simply about a thirst for conquest or hatred of the Apache. Military service offered a livelihood, a chance for social mobility, and a sense of belonging in a rapidly changing world. However, the realities of war, the violence, the loss, and the moral compromises often left lasting scars. Consequently, Sam's internal struggle stems, in part, from the agonizing burden of his wartime experiences. Another crucial layer is the societal context of the time. The prevailing attitudes towards Native Americans were often marked by prejudice, misunderstanding, and a deep-seated belief in their inferiority. This perspective, reinforced by government policies and pervasive stereotypes, contributed to the systematic dispossession and marginalization of indigenous peoples. Conversely, within the Apache communities themselves, there existed a rich tapestry of traditions, beliefs, and social structures. They were skilled hunters, warriors, and artisans, fiercely protective of their lands and way of life. Now, consider how this applies when you face difficult situations and you feel the need to change. Sam's journey is a metaphor for the process of confronting one's past, acknowledging mistakes, and seeking redemption. This transformation requires courage, self-reflection, and a willingness to challenge deeply ingrained beliefs. In this context, Sam's decision to take Taza in represents a rejection of the prevailing societal norms and a conscious effort to forge a different path. Building on this, the setting itself becomes a character, reflecting the themes of isolation, resilience, and the enduring power of nature. The remote ranch, far from the centers of civilization, provides a space for both refuge and introspection. The rugged landscape, with its vast deserts, towering mountains, and unforgiving climate, mirrors the internal struggles of the protagonists. Consequently, the environment becomes a constant reminder of the challenges they face and the strength they must find within themselves to overcome them. The story also provides a window into the human capacity for compassion, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Sam's initial hesitation to help Taza gives way to a growing sense of responsibility and empathy. He begins to see the boy not as an enemy but as a fellow human being deserving of care and protection. Ultimately, the narrative underscores the importance of understanding, forgiveness, and the transformative potential of human connection, even across cultural and historical divides. Delving further into the core narrative, let's examine the central tenet of the Apache boy's displacement and the subsequent journey. The very act of Taza being lost and alone is a microcosm of the larger historical tragedy. Consider the forced relocations, the broken treaties, and the systematic efforts to dismantle the Apache way of life. The boy's separation from his tribe isn't merely a plot device. It's a symbol of the cultural fragmentation that Native American communities experienced. Moreover, the narrative underscores the profound effects of such upheaval on the individual, reflecting the psychological toll of trauma and the struggle for survival. Furthermore, the setting, the vast, untamed West, becomes a character in itself, an arena where the themes of isolation and resilience are tested. The desolate landscapes, with their towering mesas and endless horizons, mirror the emotional terrain Sam and Taza must navigate. The harsh conditions, the scarcity of resources, and the ever-present threat of danger force them to rely on each other, forging a bond that transcends their differences. Now, picture the journey as a physical and spiritual quest, a crucible, where the characters are forged anew. Building on this, the concept of mentorship emerges as a crucial element. Sam, initially a reluctant guardian, gradually assumes the role of protector and teacher. He imparts his knowledge of the wilderness, sharing his skills in tracking, hunting, and survival. Simultaneously, Taza becomes a teacher to Sam, introducing him to Apache culture, beliefs, and the importance of connection to the land. This reciprocal, an exchange of knowledge and values, is a testament to the power of human connection to bridge cultural divides. The boy, wise beyond his years, becomes the conduit through which Sam begins to comprehend the depth of the historical injustices and the true cost of his past actions. Another crucial layer is the portrayal of the Apache people themselves. The story doesn't simply depict them as victims, it showcases their strength, their resilience, and their deep connection to their ancestral lands. The narrative offers a glimpse into their traditions, their spiritual beliefs, and the complexities of their social structures. The Apache are not portrayed as a monolithic group. They are individuals with distinct personalities, motivations, and experiences. Consequently, this humanization challenges the stereotypes that often pervade historical accounts. Conversely, the story doesn't shy away from depicting the harsh realities of the Apache wars. It acknowledges the violence, the suffering, and the loss that both sides endured. However, the narrative refrains from glorifying conflict. Instead, it focuses on the human cost of war, the psychological wounds that linger long after the battles cease. The story urges us to confront the uncomfortable truths of the past, fostering empathy and understanding. This is no simple tale of good versus evil. It is a complex exploration of moral ambiguity, highlighting the challenges of reconciliation and the enduring search for justice. Let's now delve into the broader implications of this narrative, exploring how it mirrors societal dynamics, particularly regarding issues of prejudice and reconciliation. The story, at its core, serves as a poignant allegory for the challenges encountered when bridging divides, whether these are rooted in historical conflict, cultural differences, or personal animosity. It prompts us to scrutinize our own biases and assumptions, questioning the narratives we construct about the other. Furthermore, the relationship between Sam and Taza transcends the typical portrayal of the white savior trope. Instead, it presents a more nuanced depiction of two individuals grappling with their pasts and attempting to forge a path toward understanding. Consequently, the narrative doesn't offer easy answers or simplistic resolutions. It acknowledges the complexities of human relationships and the long, arduous process of healing from trauma. It underscores the importance of listening to and learning from those whose experiences differ from our own. Building on this, the story's relevance extends beyond the specific historical context. It speaks to the universal human need for empathy, forgiveness, and the willingness to embrace change. Consider how this applies when you contemplate the wider world. The story serves as a potent reminder that we are all interconnected, and that our actions, no matter how small, can have far-reaching consequences. It challenges us to examine the ways in which we perpetuate cycles of conflict and division, and to strive toward building a more just and compassionate society. Another crucial layer is the depiction of the American landscape itself. The vastness and harshness of the environment serve as a backdrop for the characters' internal struggles. The story uses the landscape to symbolize the challenges of the journey toward reconciliation. The characters' journey is not simply a physical one. It's a spiritual quest for understanding, forgiveness, and healing. The terrain they traverse mirrors the emotional terrain they must navigate, highlighting the obstacles and the rewards that await them. Conversely, the narrative doesn't romanticize the American West or gloss over the injustices inflicted upon Native American communities. It acknowledges the violence, the displacement, and the cultural destruction that resulted from westward expansion. Yet the story also celebrates the resilience of the Apache people, their enduring connection to their ancestral lands, and their unwavering spirit in the face of adversity. This dual perspective provides a more comprehensive understanding of the historical context and the complexities of the characters' experiences. Let's now confront the potential controversies and the common misconceptions that might surround a narrative like this. The very act of framing a story about a white rancher aiding a lost Apache boy can, at first glance, trigger critical reactions. One significant challenge lies in avoiding the pitfalls of the white savior trope. This involves ensuring that the Apache boy, Taza, isn't relegated to a passive role, merely a recipient of assistance. Instead, his agency, his knowledge, and his unique perspective must be central to the narrative. Moreover, it's imperative to steer clear of romanticizing the past or simplifying the complexities of the Apache Wars. The story must acknowledge the brutal realities of the conflicts, the suffering endured by both sides, and the lasting impact of historical injustices. This requires a nuanced portrayal, one that avoids easy moral judgments and instead delves into the human cost of war and the enduring legacy of trauma. Furthermore, the narrative must be grounded in historical accuracy, resisting the temptation to sensationalize or distort events for dramatic effect. Another area of potential controversy involves the portrayal of Apache culture. There's a risk of perpetuating stereotypes or exoticizing indigenous traditions. To counter this, the story must prioritize authenticity. It must be informed by careful research, consultation with Native American sources, and a genuine effort to represent Apache culture with respect and sensitivity. Building on this, the narrative can actively challenge existing misconceptions, offering a more accurate and nuanced understanding of the Apache people, their beliefs, and their way of life. Conversely, there's the challenge of maintaining a balanced perspective. While the story should acknowledge the historical injustice inflicted upon the Apache, it shouldn't demonize all white settlers or soldiers. The complexities of human behavior and the motivations behind individual actions should be explored. This requires presenting a range of perspectives, allowing for empathy and understanding even for those who may have been on opposing sides of the conflict. Consequently, the narrative must avoid simplistic binaries and embrace the inherent ambiguities of the human experience. Now, consider how this applies when you're looking at any story that deals with sensitive cultural issues. It's crucial to approach the subject matter with humility and a willingness to learn. It requires actively seeking out diverse voices, challenging your own assumptions, and being open to criticism. Another crucial layer is the need to acknowledge the power dynamics inherent in the narrative. The story, in its very structure, reflects a power imbalance between the white rancher and the Apache boy. The narrative can address this imbalance by giving Taza a voice, by highlighting his agency, and by emphasizing the importance of mutual respect and understanding. This, however, presents a unique challenge. The story must navigate this complex terrain without falling into the trap of cultural appropriation or tokenism. Ultimately, the success of the story hinges on its ability to engage with these controversies honestly and thoughtfully, transforming potential pitfalls into opportunities for deeper understanding and greater empathy. Let's now address the potential for historical inaccuracies and the importance of responsible storytelling. When depicting events from the American West, the narrative's authenticity hinges on meticulously researched details, avoiding the pitfalls of romanticized portrayals, often found in popular culture. For instance, the weaponry, clothing, and daily routines of both the Apache and settlers must be accurately represented, steering clear of anachronisms or oversimplified depictions. Furthermore, consider the complexities of language and communication. Did Sam speak any Apache dialects, or how did he and Taza bridge the language barrier? The story's success depends on finding a believable and sensitive approach to this aspect, perhaps showing the gradual development of understanding through gestures, shared experiences, and the slow acquisition of words. Building on this, the portrayal of the environment itself requires careful consideration. The vastness and variety of the American West should be accurately reflected, with attention to the specific flora, fauna, and geological features of the region. This enhances the story's realism and immerses the audience in the setting. Another crucial layer is the representation of the legal and social structures of the time. How did Sam navigate the existing laws and societal prejudices? The story could explore the challenges he faced in protecting Taza from bounty hunters or hostile settlers. Conversely, the narrative must avoid promoting any form of historical revisionism. It's vital to acknowledge the displacement, violence, and cultural destruction inflicted upon Native American communities. This includes accurately depicting the motivations and actions of both sides, avoiding simplistic good versus evil narratives. Consider, for example, the use of place names. Were the actual locations and geographical features accurately represented, or were fictionalized versions employed for narrative purposes? Any alterations must be clearly justified and handled with sensitivity to avoid misrepresenting history. Now, consider how this applies when you are reading or watching any historical drama. The best stories are those that are both engaging and informed by a deep respect for the past. The characters' motivations, their choices, and the consequences of their actions must be believable and consistent with the historical context. Therefore, the narrative should be grounded in primary sources, such as historical accounts, oral histories, and archaeological evidence. The story should be carefully vetted by historians and cultural consultants to ensure its accuracy and sensitivity. Consequently, the goal should be to create a story that both entertains and educates, offering a more nuanced and accurate understanding of the American West and the complex relationships between its diverse inhabitants. Furthermore, the story should strive to amplify the voices of those who have often been marginalized or silenced in historical accounts. Let's pivot to examining the potential for the story's thematic resonance with contemporary issues. The core narrative, while rooted in the historical context of the American West, offers potent parallels to modern-day struggles involving migration, cultural displacement, and the search for belonging. Consider the plight of refugees fleeing conflict zones, or the experiences of marginalized communities facing discrimination and prejudice. Furthermore, the tale of Sam and Taz's unlikely alliance resonates with the growing need for cross-cultural understanding and empathy in our increasingly interconnected world. In addition to this, the narrative encourages us to confront our own biases and assumptions, prompting introspection about how we perceive and treat those who are different from us. This, however, is not to suggest a simplistic equivalency. Recognizing the specific historical realities is paramount. Another crucial layer is the story's potential to spark conversations about reconciliation and healing. The process of Sam and Taza forging a bond can mirror the long and arduous journey of repairing broken relationships, both on a personal and societal level. The story suggests that forgiveness, while difficult, is essential for moving forward. Consequently, the narrative provides a framework for discussing how we might address historical injustices and build a more equitable future. Conversely, the tale also serves as a cautionary reminder of the dangers of historical amnesia. It underscores the importance of remembering the past, especially the difficult parts, to prevent repeating past mistakes. The story can act as a catalyst for critical reflection on the ongoing legacies of colonialism, racism, and other forms of oppression. Building on this, the story can also serve as a lens through which to examine contemporary issues of environmental justice. The Apache's deep connection to the land and their reverence for nature can be contrasted with the destructive practices of resource extraction and environmental degradation. The narrative provides an opportunity to discuss the importance of sustainable practices and the need to protect our planet for future generations. Now, consider how this applies when you observe the news or interact with people from different backgrounds. The story is a call to action, urging us to embrace empathy, challenge our own prejudices, and work towards building a more just and compassionate world. Ultimately, the success of this story will depend on its ability to generate these kinds of thoughtful reflections, prompting audiences to connect the historical narrative with their own lives and the challenges facing the world today. Let's now explore the story's potential for inspiring individual transformation and personal growth. The journey of Sam, the hardened rancher, can be viewed as a metaphor for the human capacity to change, to overcome inner demons, and to find redemption. Initially resistant to connection and haunted by his past actions, Sam is forced, by circumstances, to confront his own culpability and to reconsider his long-held beliefs. Furthermore, the narrative can serve as an example of the power of empathy to unlock personal growth. Through his interactions with Taza, Sam is compelled to see the world through a different lens, to recognize the humanity in those he once viewed as enemies. Consequently, this shift in perspective allows him to begin the process of healing and self-forgiveness. Building on this, consider the story's potential to encourage introspection. The challenges Sam faces, guilt, isolation, regret, are universal human experiences. The story invites us to reflect on our own past actions, to acknowledge our mistakes, and to consider how we might make amends for any harm we have caused. Another crucial layer is the story's emphasis on the importance of courage. The path toward personal transformation is rarely easy. It requires confronting uncomfortable truths, challenging ingrained biases, and taking risks. Sam's journey is a testament to the power of bravery in the face of adversity. Conversely, the story also underscores the importance of patience and perseverance. The process of healing and self-discovery is not a linear one. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and times when it feels as though progress is impossible. The story therefore illustrates the value of resilience and the need to keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. Now, consider how this applies when you are facing a difficult transition in your own life. The tale of Sam and Taz can offer inspiration and guidance. Another key aspect is the story's capacity to promote a sense of hope. Despite the hardships and the tragedies, the narrative ultimately offers a vision of redemption and the possibility of a brighter future. The bond between Sam and Taza, forged in the fires of conflict and loss, becomes a symbol of the enduring power of the human spirit. Ultimately, this narrative is about finding the strength to forgive oneself and others, and to embrace the possibility of a new beginning. As we draw closer to the heart of this narrative, consider the delicate balance. it strives to maintain. The story, like a meticulously crafted tapestry, weaves together threads of history, culture, and individual experience, creating a complex and multifaceted whole. It's not merely a recounting of events, it's an exploration of the human condition, a journey into the depths of the human heart, and a reflection on the power of connection. Reflecting on this journey so far, we've seen how the vast, unforgiving landscape of the American West becomes a mirror to the inner landscapes of the characters. The very air seems charged with the echoes of past conflicts, a constant reminder of the wounds that linger. The story, in its essence, is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the capacity for transformation, and the enduring power of hope in the face of adversity. Drawing these strands together, we observe the narrative's subtle dance, where the concept of perspective challenges us to question our own assumptions, to consider the world through the eyes of others, and to embrace the complexities of human interaction. The story becomes a window, not just onto a specific time and place, but onto the universal human experience of seeking understanding, connection, and ultimately, redemption. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer. The story, in its quiet power, offers a glimpse into the potential for healing, both individual and collective. It suggests that even amidst the most profound historical injustices, the potential for empathy and forgiveness endures. The narrative, much like a seed planted in fertile ground, holds the promise of growth, of transformation, and of a future where understanding triumphs over division. As we pivot towards the final reflection, we are left to ponder the enduring impact of promises made and the unwavering strength of the human spirit. The story now beckons us to consider the legacy of the past, the challenges of the present, and the possibilities that lie within us all. It is a call to action, a call to contemplate the transformative power of connection and the enduring potential of hope. As the sun sets on the narrative we've explored, casting long shadows across the landscape of the American West, the true weight of the story settles upon us. It's not merely a tale of a rancher and a boy, but a reflection of the human capacity for profound change, the transformative power of empathy, and the enduring possibility of reconciliation in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. The journey of Sam and Taza, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, echoes far beyond the confines of the page. The most compelling aspect of this story lies in its ability to illuminate the complexities of the past without simplifying them. It doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of conflict, the pain of displacement, or the deep-seated prejudices that have shaped our world. Instead, it confronts these difficult truths head-on, offering a nuanced and compassionate perspective on the human condition. The very landscape, a canvas of stark beauty and unforgiving harshness, mirrors the emotional terrain the protagonists must traverse, a constant reminder of the challenges they face and the strength they must find within themselves to overcome them. What resonates most profoundly is the subtle call to action embedded within the narrative. It encourages us to examine our own biases, to challenge our assumptions, and to cultivate a sense of empathy for those whose experiences differ from our own. The story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of understanding, forgiveness, and the enduring potential of human connection to bridge divides. It's a call to confront the ghosts of the past, not to be haunted by them, but to learn from them and to build a better future. The true practice begins now. The story urges us to carry its message into our own lives, to seek out those who challenge our perspectives, and to engage in meaningful dialogue, even when it is difficult. It calls us to become active participants in the ongoing process of healing, to recognize the interconnectedness of our shared humanity, and to embrace the possibility of redemption, not just for the characters in the story, but for ourselves and for the world around us. The enduring power of this narrative lies not just in its ability to entertain, but in its capacity to inspire us, to move us, and to remind us that even in the darkest of times, hope, like a solitary star in the vast night sky, still shines.